You will remember that actually it started literally on the first minute. You now say here in your summary, you don't want to waste the time of witnesses on things that affect the committee. Well, that's exactly the opposite of what you did on the 13th. We came here, literally, it's just that I don't have time. I could play the video. 9 o'clock exactly, or whenever we started, you said the witness is not here. And there was some technical connection problem or whatever. I said to you, Chairperson, as you know, I'm going to raise a matter which does not concern the witness. Can I carry on with that matter? We don't need the witness for that. No, we'll wait for the witness. Okay. If you want to waste time and wait for the witness, it's fine. I'll wait it for the witness. Then I raised my point. And the first thing I said, again, your summary is distorted, because I said I started with the issue of the public protectors not being well, because I had to. I couldn't just get into the issue about the lawyer's unavailability, because you would have asked me, yeah, that's all very well, but where's the public protector? So I had to start with the public protector's absence and said, she's not here. I have just been informed that she has been taken in ill, and she is for that reason she's not here. You asked me, is that an apology? I said, it's not an apology, because I don't even know. I've just been told by a family member myself. I was expecting her actually to come to my office, I think, in that period. And I was told that she had been taken ill by a family member. And from that point on, so it's not true to say, no, there was this issue of the lawyers and then the issue of the public protector came. The issue of the public protector's illness came up front. Anyway, be that as it may, and that's what we deal with at B9. I said, in all honesty, I can't come here and say I'm now asking for the postponement only because the public protector is not here, because that would have been opportunistic. Because as you knew, the postponement was going to be based on the issue of the lawyers, and that is why I dealt with that. What happened there was really what one might call the most embarrassing display of chairpersonship, because the next thing I had to now tell you what it is that I'm going to do in terms of preparation. I don't know what. Yeah. But it should have been sufficient to say there's an urgent application, there's an exchange of documents. I can't be telling you that at 10 o'clock I'll be doing the replying affidavit. At this time I'll be doing that. That's just degrading and demeaning and serving no purpose except to question my integrity. Because it can only mean that I was just making it up, actually, the fact that I have to prepare for an important urgent application. But again, even that, it's not about me. You can have whatever views you might want to have. It's about the client. So that was the first issue, the non-availability, which was explained. And Chairperson, in your summary, I can hear what you're trying to say. You're saying, well, this application was brought by the public protector. Supposedly, therefore, she has no reason to come and ask for a postponement because she should not have brought the application. That's wrong, because I explained to you even on that day that the application, yes, it was brought by her as the applicant, but it had been thrust upon her by the situation that arose from the judgment of Friday the 9th, where in the stealth of night, we received documents from the DA. And on the Sunday, we received other documents from the president. We didn't bargain for that. We didn't ask for it. They did it. They had 15 days in which to do it, but they decided to do it on the weekend. And I had warned about this on Saturday when Mr. Jani finished, without even knowing that the president was going to enter the fray. So to be now asked here which comma am I going to put at what time, as if I'm a machine who must just, do those commas and then come and do cross-examination, I can tell you, Chairperson, very few people that you know work harder than I do. But when I say this is now a situation that is impossible and I need time, you should accept that, well, you don't have to, but at least any sensible person would accept that that is a situation that had been thrown on us. Why else would I ask for time? I don't understand. Then but that again, as I say, it's not about me. You may have your suspicions that maybe I wanted to go on holiday or whatever. But the one that is what I call the proverbial last straw, Chairperson, is when you refused to grant the postponement, even on the basis of the temporary medical unfitness of the public protector. You know, it's only in this country that you can have, as I say, the fake outrage about the so-called promise or threat or whatever, in the face of the harshest display of unacceptable, unlawful, unconstitutional, and patriarchal behavior that we have seen, where I don't know what is the public protector supposed to do if she's sick? Is she supposed to schedule her sickness according to the whims of the chairperson? No. She had a sickness. She did not have to be subjected to that. And even when I begged you, Chairperson, to say, here's a medical certificate, I don't want, no, you cannot display it. And now we're told, after the fact, which is a bigger insult, that you did that because, one, you did not want to interrupt Honorable Gonda, I think was the one who was on the platform, number one. And number two, you did not want the display of medical information belonging to the public protector. Both of those reasons are unacceptable, to put it mildly. The one about interrupting is wrong, because surely whatever interruption and which if it was necessary, I'm sure Honorable Gonda, even her, would understand that there was a medical emergency. So the two things really don't match. You can't say you didn't want to interrupt a member and therefore didn't accept a certificate. It's just, as they say, using a sledgehammer to crack a nut. So that's the first thing. That explanation, I think, doesn't deserve much more discussion. The second one about the confidential information, medical information, is just a convenient afterthought, which also should not carry much credence, because it was I who represent the public protector who are saying, I want to display the certificate. You must assume that A, I have a mandate to do so. B, I have seen it, at least myself. So I would have known if it details chapter and verse of her illness, and in that case, therefore, violated her. Can you please put up the annexure of the medical certificate? And in the process, the chairperson said to me, what is the nature of the public protector's illness? Well, that question was inappropriate and uncalled for. Firstly, because, well, fortunately, I did not know the nature of the illness myself. So even if I wanted to answer, I wouldn't have answered you. But it's not the answer that I'm worried about, it's the question. So it can't be true to say you did not want her confidential medical information to be displayed when you asked me what is the nature of her illness, because that was confidential medical information. As I say, fortunately, I didn't even have an answer. But this is all I wanted to do to you, Chairperson, all. I wanted us to do what I'm doing now. Put up the certificate up there, and it says, this is to certify that Busisiwe Mkhwebane has seen Dr. So-and-so on 13/9/2022. She has been unfit for work from 1309 up to and including 1609, signed by the doctor. That's all. It would have taken half a minute, as I've just done it now. But you flatly refused that we should do that to show the members that, so there's no confidential medical information there. There's nothing like that. It just says that she's unfit on those 3 days. I would never have, in my rightful mind, put up a certificate that discloses the nature of her illness, which fortunately I don't know even now, and neither is it relevant. So that's and here, if we really had time, I would have put up. You would have just all anyone has to do is to just listen to that exchange, where I say, Chairperson, I want to put this up, and you shout me down, and I say, don't shout at me. There's no need for you to shout at me. I simply want to put this up, and until I gave up. And as they say, the rest is history. So that, Chairperson, if anybody who watches that exchange or sees your conduct and behavior around the issue of the public protector's medical condition, any person, any neutral person who sees that will see as the crassest display of a lack of Ubuntu, empathy, humanness, and just being human. And again, if you use the test, the public protector cannot be expected to assume that a person who behaves like you did around that issue, even with those explanations you gave this morning, will treat her as a human being alone. Forget about fairness and all those things, just to be treated as a person. I have no doubt that if anybody that you respect or you care for was being impeached and they said they were sick, you would accept it. It's only because it's according to your previous statements, that was being done by this incompetent advocate, Mkhwebane. And really, I think anyone, even the most rampant racist Mkhwebane hater, would understand that she cannot be expected to assume the bona fides and the impartiality of someone who behaved the way you did on the 13th of September, 2022. And what is worse, which is at B11, Chairperson, is that members of this committee were pleading with you. Honorable Mautwe, Honorable Olomisa, Honorable Zungula said, please let's adjourn, Chairperson, so that we can have a consultation with the committee and deal with this matter of the medical information and the unavailability of the lawyers. And you refused flatly. Unlike when the evidence leaders wanted to shield Mr. Ndo from his alleged sexual escapades. And, you know, in fact, instead what you did was to cut out Honorable Mautwe and mute me for simply saying the things that I was saying in the calmest possible manner, to say, please listen to me, don't shout at me, and I want to assert the rights of the client. And I was muted. In fact, the muting was just, as I say, don't know about me, I'm fine, I can take care of myself. But the muting was just laughable in the sense that I had already muted myself at that point. But again, it's not the muting per se, it's just the type of conduct. And your dictatorial tendencies in refusing to have a meeting when the members were asking for it were, in our respectful view, a clear signs of bias, of a disqualifying kind. and impropriety and the display of, as I said, undue patriarchal tendencies, which have no place in a fair process like this, particularly demanding to know what illness the public protector was suffering from.